they have to say that. And hopefully on Tuesday they announce that fight, and me fighting main event with Topuria uh, when it's gonna be in Vegas or in Los Angeles.
It's just, it's starting off a new era on a new broadcast partner, and there's heat with Ilya and Patty. And honestly, man, I think we're all kind of dealing with half information here because we don't know what Ilya truly wants. Like, Ilya obviously wants to go and chase Islam.
Following his impressive victory, Tsarukyan has made it crystal clear that he's ready for championship competition, boldly addressing the elite fighters who stand between him and UFC gold.
This year job is done, but I'm focused for the title, and I came here just to show everybody that I'm real contender #1, and I want to fight for the title, and I have to fight for the title.
Addressing a potential clash with Ilya, Arman discussed his advantages inside the cage with unwavering self-belief. He highlighted his complete skill set spanning striking exchanges, grappling mastery, and devastating kicks, combined with exceptional cardio and explosive athleticism.
Yeah, any round would get finished is always good, you know. You don't let judge you, you know. It's good when you finish and showed like you dominate him. You showed like everybody you're on different level. Like I said, always I wanted to show like masterclass and to finish him as soon as possible.
He stressed that his approach relies on intelligent technique rather than brute force alone, and his unique blend of youthful energy, competitive experience, and diverse arsenal positions him favorably against the division's elite.
You can watch my fights and to see like I'm a well-rounded fighter. I can strike, I can wrestle, I can kick, and my endurance is good. My condition, I'm explosive, confident, young. I don't know. I can like go so much things. I'm better than him. You know, he's maybe his hands is not faster but powerful. But I'm not gonna stay on that distance. I'm smart.
When examining a potential matchup with Ilya, studying comparable fighting styles becomes invaluable. Expert analysts point to previous contests featuring fighters with similar approaches as instructive examples. Luke Thomas specifically referenced Hooker's encounter with Gamrot, demonstrating how range management, movement mechanics, and grappling defense become decisive factors. These tactical blueprints offer clues about Tsarukyan's potential game plan and where Arman might exploit advantages.
So what do we learn about this fight? Well, in the fight before for Hooker, which was the Gamrot fight, or maybe it was 2 fights ago, I can't remember anymore. But Gamrot has there's meaningful differences, but has a very similar game to Tsarukyan. At least there's a lot of similarities. And what we saw there was you see Hooker kind of playing that long game, right? He's got that arm kind of hanging out, and he throws long, and he kind of stays long, and he stays light on his feet. And he had much better takedown defense.
Expanding on that analysis, Luke broke down how stand-up exchanges proved pivotal. Gamrot successfully connected with power strikes and visibly damaged Hooker during aggressive sequences. This illustrates how fighters matching Tsarukyan's profile could engineer dominant moments throughout a contest. The comparison underscores the importance of tactical awareness, precise timing, and intelligent range manipulation. All elements Arman will certainly factor into his preparation should he face Ilya next.
Did get taken down a few times, often when his kicks would get caught, but the bigger thing that I noticed was that Gamrot was able to hurt and stung him with punches several times, including like stuff that he was able to land as Hooker was pressuring into him. And it's like, I don't want to dismiss the skills of Gamrot or overstate Tsarukyan's, but it just feels like if Gamrot's able to rock Hooker, Tsarukyan should be able to as well.
Additionally, Arman Tsarukyan discussed his bout with Hooker, emphasizing that competition remains strictly professional rather than personal. He expressed genuine gratitude toward Hooker for accepting the challenge, which provided valuable experience, increased visibility, and career advancement. For Arman, each opponent represents a stepping stone toward greatness, an opportunity to showcase his abilities and climb the divisional ladder, while maintaining respect for those who contribute to his journey. Turning attention forward, Arman addressed the possibility of facing Ilya. He clarified that while his immediate focus remained on his recent contest, he also recognizes the importance of generating buzz and fan engagement for upcoming matchups.
I just said, this is a game business, just it's a fighting, but I don't have anything personal to you, and you're the man, you're only guy who fought with me, and if you didn't take this fight, I wasn't be here, and thank you. It's a really just one guy who wanted to fight me. It was a Hooker that I want to say thank you him, because I got that experience, money, everything, attention, and everybody is, who's that.
For him, being a complete fighter extends beyond octagon excellence. It encompasses captivating audiences, producing unforgettable moments, and proving he can balance elite athleticism with entertainment value.
I mean, I didn't want to mention too much Ilya because I was focused on my fight. But after today, I'm gonna try to again create some crazy videos that are gonna be viral and try to make a joke, and to bring a lot of eyes for that fight, because it's like a media sport too. You gotta be a good fighter and a good showman.
Expanding on his commitment to entertainment and promotion, Arman addressed his physical condition ahead of a potential Ilia Topuria showdown. He noted that following a brief recovery period, he can begin intensive preparation without dealing with any lingering injuries. Demonstrating confidence and professionalism, he's positioned to capitalize on the opportunity immediately once official confirmation arrives, regardless of whether the venue is Las Vegas or Los Angeles.
Rest 1 week, fly to US and stay there 2 months. It's enough time to get ready, and I didn't get any injured, thank God, and they have to say that, and hopefully on Tuesday they announce that fight, and me fighting main event with Topuria when it's gonna be in Vegas or in Los Angeles. So I'm ready. I gotta take that chance, and I have pretty time to get ready.
Transitioning to expert commentary, Michael Bisping analyzed Arman Tsarukyan's dismantling of Dan Hooker, noting the striking transformation in Hooker's appearance and demeanor. He discussed Hooker's physical changes, elevated confidence, and substantial hype surrounding his title aspirations, yet observed that despite the pre-fight momentum, Arman maintained complete concentration. Bisping stressed that promotional narratives frequently mislead, and cage performance ultimately reveals who genuinely possesses the preparation and talent.
Brings us to Arman Tsarukyan versus Dan Hooker, tonight's main event, and what was an incredible performance from Arman Tsarukyan. Dan Hooker, I think it's fair to say that everyone loves this guy. He's very entertaining. This new version with the tattoos has put on a lot of muscle. He doesn't care. He's got swag. His dress sense has changed. He's dyed his hair like Eminem. He's talking a lot of shit. He was calling Arman every name under the sun.
Title contender, the guy that beat Ilya, and now he's losing to Dan Hooker, the bloke from New Zealand who's lost a third of his fight.
Continuing the analysis of Arman's potential paths forward, Brett Okamoto revisited a contest that never materialized, Arman Tsarukyan versus Islam Makhachev. He explained that physical setbacks and weight management complications derailed the fight, but Arman's subsequent performances confirm he belongs among the elite. Okamoto emphasized that despite being relatively new to the spotlight, Arman's technical ability and reliable excellence establish him as one of the division's finest competitors.
What was your reaction from this Arman Tsarukyan win?
Yeah, this is why we were excited to see Arman fight Islam at the beginning of the year, and we got robbed of it because of, a lingering back injury that Arman said that was obviously pulled him out during the weight cut. You have that whole debacle, and since then Dana White is kind of mischaracterizing that as a failed weight cut, and Arman saying it wasn't a failed weight cut, it was a back spasm. Whichever reason it was, we didn't get the fight, and I don't know if we'll ever get that fight now, Arman versus Islam. But that would have been such a good fight, and now we see why. Arman he's a world-class fighter, man. I mean, I think you could make an argument for. I always submit these pound for pound rankings after all the pay-per-views, and you go through the champions, and you're coming down to the end of the list, and you're like, who's going to round out that top 10? Arman Tsarukyan could be in the top 10 pound for pound, man. He is very, 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 very good, and we saw that.
Okamoto examined the beginning of an exciting chapter for the UFC with fresh broadcast partnerships and significant matchups on the horizon. He centered on Ilia Topuria, explaining that observers and media possess incomplete understanding of his genuine preferences. Okamoto observed that Ilia frequently appears uninterested in proposed opponents, creating uncertainty about which contest he actually desires and what strategic direction the UFC might pursue.
This one, it's just, it's starting off a new era on a new broadcast partner. And there's heat with Ilia and Paddy. And honestly, man, I think we're all kind of dealing with half information here because we don't know what Ilia truly wants. Like, Ilia obviously wants to go and chase Islam, but we haven't really gotten his input all that much. I mean, he said he's disinterested in Justin. He said he's slightly more interested, I believe, in kind of Paddy, but even that, he says, an easy fight. But Ilia is kind of funny in that, like, he's always seems disinterested in every fight you ever bring to him.
Okamoto proceeded, suggesting that regardless of Ilia's apparent hesitation, the UFC will probably engineer compelling matchups regardless. He predicted a confrontation between Paddy Pimblett and Ilia appears probable, and proposed Arman could serve as an alternate fighter on that same event. Okamoto highlighted that these conversations provide organizational flexibility for the UFC, enabling them to construct major cards while gauging fighter interest, maintaining fan investment, and cultivating anticipation for the division's upcoming blockbuster contests.
And he's like, no, I'm not interested in Max Holloway. Like, what? Like, who are you interested in if you're not interested in Max Holloway? And so he always kind of has this thing where he sort of poo-poos all these other fights, but I would love to know what the conversations are like between him and Hunter Campbell over there in Qatar right now. Just like, what does he want? What is he willing to do? But my guess, as sitting here as of right now, is that they will do the Paddy fight. And it would not shock me, since Arman even threw it out there, that he's like, hey, throw me on January. It wouldn't surprise me if the UFC at least put it to the fighters, Gaethje and Arman, that you will be on that card as a potential backup, Gaethje versus Arman. Now, I don't know if either one of them would accept that fight. I'm pretty certain Justin would not, But I think that those are kind of the conversation starters. And then that also sort of clears the UFC to be like, hey, we tried to make this number one contender fight, and Paddy, and that's what the champ wants, and blah blah blah. They'll justify themselves. I still see that as the most likely outcome.
Deepening his breakdown, Bisping examined Arman's comprehensive control throughout the fight. He detailed how Arman systematically dismantled Hooker, standing up with calculated strikes, knees, and kicks, before seamlessly transitioning to takedowns and positional dominance on the mat. Bisping praised Arman's ability to secure the finish decisively while maintaining complete command, showcasing both technical mastery and mental composure, solidifying why this victory catapulted his standing as a premier contender in the weight class.
And I think he convinced a lot of people that he was going to do well. And, granted, he has beaten the likes of Mateusz Gamrot that beat Arman Tsarukyan. But tonight, Arman was fantastic. On the feet, he cracked him. He connected with knees, kicks. He butchered up his calf. I mean, everything that he was throwing was landing with authority. Then he took him down, almost crucifixed him, elbowed the crap out of him, and just made life miserable for Dan Hooker. And then in the second round, it was more of the same. He went out, butchered him up, landed some shots, took him down, and then choked him out.
Following his praise for Arman's exceptional performance, Bisping examined the broader competitive landscape. He noted that with championship caliber fighters like Ilia Topuria and others making significant statements, the title situation has become increasingly competitive. Arman's showing undeniably positions him at the front of the line, though several fighters are simultaneously building their cases. Bisping emphasized the mounting pressure and why fight fans are closely monitoring who secures the next championship opportunity.
He is kind of like this new generation. He was to fight Ilia Topuria. Ilia Topuria was in attendance, but he has been very quiet, and he did say that he would rather vacate the belt than fight Arman Tsarukyan.
I'm the world champion. I'm never gonna give him a chance to fight for title. I will be like, listen, if that's the case, take my belt.
No, I don't think he was saying that because he's scared. I think he's just saying that to wind Arman up. But if you're a casual fan or you don't understand the mind games, you might think that Ilia's scared. But Ilia does need to come out and say something, because obviously there's a logjam now at the top. There's Arman, who's rightfully the number one contender, who on meritocracy should get the shot. Then there's Paddy Pimblett, who through popularity might get the shot. And there's Justin Gaethje out there who's digging his heels in and saying, hey, I deserve a title shot. What the hell's going on? So who gets it? You let me know in the comment section. But Arman Tsarukyan was phenomenal tonight, as was the whole experience, the whole fight night.
During the Ariel Helwani show, Chuck Mindenhall explored whether Arman Tsarukyan could compete in January. He noted that Arman has publicly declared his availability for immediate opportunities, demonstrating both confidence and dedication. Chuck emphasized this represents a strategic approach from Arman, establishing his readiness and commitment, with the proposed timeline being entirely feasible, ensuring he remains prominent in discussions for major contests in early 2025.
If it happens, what'd you say, January 24th is kind of speculation. If that happens, that is not so far off. That is 2 months away. And I appreciate that Arman basically qualified himself by saying, listen, I'm ready to go. If you want to fight in January, I'm ready. That was a smart move.
Continuing the conversation about Arman's availability and the brewing tensions with top contenders, Patezi Carroll examined how the UFC can engineer compelling narratives using strategic matchmaking. He suggested that booking a fight between Paddy Pimblett and Ilia Topuria would organically position Arman as the next logical challenger.
I feel like it's a win-win for the UFC to make the Paddy v Ilia fight right now, because these are both commodities. If Ilia loses and Paddy's the champion, great. He's a massive star already, and a lot of people are doubting him. Perfect situation is to put Arman against him. If Ilia beats him, as most people would predict he will, that's a massive star moment for Ilia again, because of Paddy's star power, again leading to Arman. It's exactly what you're saying, Ariel, to make the biggest splash. And we know that's what they want to do. They want to come out swinging in this new TV deal. Best way to do it is Paddy v Ilia.
Arman Tsarukyan's decisive triumph over Dan Hooker does more than cement his status as a premier contender. It establishes the foundation for thrilling future battles. His technical prowess, tactical intelligence, and unwavering determination demonstrate he's prepared to face anyone in the lightweight division. Whether confronting Ilia Topuria or rising stars like Paddy Pimblett, Arman is establishing himself as a force who excels both in competitive excellence and promotional savvy, leaving fans hungry for his next appearance. What's your prediction? Should Arman Tsarukyan face Ilia Topuria or Paddy Pimblett in his next outing? And what's your reasoning? Share your perspective in the comments below.